Welcome back to our channel. Today, we bring you a truly heartbreaking and shocking revelation that has shaken the entire entertainment industry. In this video, we dive into the tragic final moments of actor Song Young-kyu, who passed away at the age of 55. What's even more startling is the last phone call he made before taking his own life, a call that may hold the key to understanding his pain and silence. Stay with us as we uncover the hidden truths, emotional farewells, and the wave of sorrow that now surrounds his name. If you find this story moving or important, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest updates on the lives of your favorite stars. On the surface, Song Young-kyu was the epitome of resilience, a familiar face on screen, a voice that once echoed through radio waves, and a presence that quietly commanded respect in the South Korean entertainment industry. Yet behind the stoic expression and well-curated roles was a man battling profound loneliness, depression, and silent cries for help. The news of his death sent shockwaves through fans, colleagues, and the entire Korean entertainment world, not just for the loss itself, but for the chilling details surrounding his final moments. Born in 1969, Song Young-kyu had always carried the weight of responsibility. With parents who struggled with alcohol, Song was the eldest child, the one expected to keep the family together. He found solace in the arts, but life wasn't generous to him. His 20s and 30s were a mix of aspirations and hard-won survival. Song wasn't a household name at the start. He took on minor roles, made ends meet through odd jobs, and fought every day to carve out a space in a brutal industry. But he never gave up. Slowly, he began to appear in popular productions. Viewers may remember him from dramas like Taxi Driver 2, Extraordinary Attorney Woo, The Fiery Priest, and Dr. Romantic 2. He also lent his voice to TV Chosun and MBC documentaries, making his mark as both actor and narrator. But none of these achievements could silence the growing void inside him. In his final years, Song Young-kyu juggled acting with teaching, taking on a professorship at Sungchin Women's University. Students and colleagues described him as kind but reserved, often seen lost in thought. He remained single his whole life and had no children. Close friends revealed he was a workaholic, not because he loved the grind, but because it kept his mind occupied. When he wasn't working, the loneliness crept in. His younger brother, a scriptwriter, was perhaps one of the few people who saw the cracks forming. In a heartbreaking revelation following Song's death, the brothers shared the contents of their last phone call. It was short, almost mundane on the surface. Song had called to say he missed him, that he hadn't been able to sleep, and that he had been crying a lot. He then mentioned a chilling detail. "I checked the expiration dates of all my credit cards and paid off my debts." The brother tried to deflect the tension with a joke, but deep down he knew something wasn't right. That was the last time they spoke. When the family tried to contact Song the following morning, there was no response. He had already made his final decision. The actor was found lifeless, leaving behind no suicide note, no written explanation, only questions, pain, and a devastated family. His departure marked not just the end of a life, but the unraveling of decades of silent suffering. Colleagues and former students were blindsided. "He never talked about his struggles," one colleague shared. "He always listened to others, encouraged us, and carried himself with dignity. Who would have known he was carrying such pain?" Others recalled that he had been absent from classes in recent weeks, citing health issues. No one thought those absences were warning signs. In hindsight, the clues were there. Song had often said that he found it hard to sleep. He mentioned feelings of isolation. Yet in a society where mental health still carries a stigma, especially among older generations, it's not uncommon for even the deepest wounds to be hidden behind a smile. The entertainment industry mourned not only the loss of a talented actor, but also the tragedy of a man who gave so much, yet asked for so little in return. Tributes poured in from co-stars, students, and fans, But none could mask the unsettling realization. Song Yong-kyu had reached a point where he believed his presence no longer mattered. He didn't want to burden anyone. He wanted to leave quietly, just as he had lived, in silence. His funeral was held privately, attended by family and a few close friends. It was a somber affair, marked not by spectacle, but by an overwhelming sense of loss and regret. His students created a memorial wall at the university, where they placed handwritten notes thanking him for his wisdom, kindness, and encouragement. "You believed in me when no one else did," one student wrote. "I wished we had known. I wish we could have helped." Perhaps the most gut-wrenching part of this tragedy is that Song Yong-kyu had so much more to give. He was set to appear in upcoming productions and was admired for his voice acting work. He had plans. But depression is cruel. It convinces even the strongest souls that tomorrow isn't worth waiting for. His story isn't just a personal loss. It's a stark reminder of the hidden battles people fight every day. It's a wake-up call for an industry that glorifies endurance but rarely talks about mental health. And it's a tragedy that forces us all to reconsider how we treat the ones around us, especially those who seem the strongest. In the wake of Song's passing, online forums and social media filled with reflections. Fans shared clips of his most memorable scenes, highlighting his range and emotional depth. Some started campaigns to raise awareness about mental health support for actors. Others just wept. Because sometimes there are no words. Song's final call was not just a goodbye. It was a silent scream into the void. A man who had spent his life giving voice to characters, documentaries, and students was unable to voice his own suffering in time. We will never hear him speak again, but the echo of his pain lingers. As the entertainment industry moves on, may it not forget the man behind the roles, and may his stories serve as a reminder that behind every smile could be a storm, and that asking, "Are you okay?" might be more powerful than we think. As the investigation unfolded, it was confirmed that Song Yong-kyu had placed a single call just moments before his passing. That final call, made in the early hours of the morning, has become the center of speculation throughout the entertainment industry. According to police sources, the number he dialed belonged to a close friend from his theater days, someone who had been with him long before fame and fortune ever entered the picture. That friend, who has chosen to remain anonymous, reportedly answered the call but described it as unsettling and deeply emotional. The friend stated, "He didn't say much, just a few words, but I could hear the pain in his voice. It was like he was saying goodbye without saying the words." This shocking revelation has sent ripples throughout the Korean entertainment industry. Celebrities, producers, directors, and fans alike are mourning not just the loss of a respected actor, but also the hidden burdens he carried silently for years. Colleagues began sharing stories, small moments when Song Yong-kyu seemed distant or unusually introspective. Some recalled how, after receiving praise for his performances, he would often retreat quietly rather than celebrate. Others mentioned his avoidance of long-term contracts or reluctance to attend major industry gatherings. "He was like a shadow at his own party," one colleague confessed, "there, but never fully present." Family sources have confirmed that Song had struggled with anxiety and insomnia in recent years. Despite seeking occasional therapy and taking time off between roles, the pressures of fame and the solitude of stardom may have been too overwhelming. Even his most recent appearance in a successful drama just months ago was reportedly marred by long nights alone in his trailer and canceled interviews. A close family member shared with media, "He was a perfectionist. He didn't want to show weakness. He always smiled in front of others, but we knew he was battling something deeper." Perhaps the most heartbreaking detail is the fact that just a week before his death, Song Yong-kyu had quietly donated a substantial sum to a mental health foundation. The donation, made anonymously at the time, was only traced back to him after his passing. It was as if he had tried to send one final message to those who might be silently suffering just as he had. The entertainment industry, often glamorous and dazzling on the surface, hides countless untold stories behind closed doors. Song's death has reignited conversations about the mental toll actors face, particularly those who take on intense emotional roles or experience prolonged periods of career uncertainty. Even fans are now coming through his past interviews and social media posts, looking for signs they might have missed, pleas for help disguised as poetic captions or reflective quotes that now seem chillingly prophetic. One post in particular stands out. Just 2 months before his death, Song had posted a black and white photo